You're now tuned in to the Soulful Stir with Tash and Symoné.
We live.
Hey y'all.
Welcome to another episode of the Soulful Stir. I'm Symoné.
And I am Dr. Spock because apparently I'm living in the fucking Twilight Zone.
Is that who the man's name is on that show?
No, it's not. I think he's from Star Wars or one of them other places and movies that I don't like Star Trek or something. He's from one of those. I think it's Star Trek, to be completely honest. But yes, I'm clearly living in a Twilight Zone.
Do tell.
I've had some really embarrassing things happen to me in my life that were like secondhand embarrassment for somebody else. But I never realized that there would come a day that I would check my voicemail and a grown-ass man would leave me a voicemail at 1:38 in the morning singing Norman Collins. I am just floored, okay? And you know what? Here goes nothing.
Okay.
You are my life. I don't have to go on. Have me any way you want to. Just take it and take my chances gone. 'Cause you are my scholarship. Come take me up tonight and don't be late.
Okay. So clearly there has to be a lot of backstory, okay? Because anybody with a brain would hear that and automatically think I put some voodoo coochie on this man. And I have not physically seen this man in person in at least 15 years.
Oh my God.
I've been knowing this person for a long time. I haven't seen this person. I haven't lived in that city since 2015. So that's 11 years. It was probably 2 years before I left that city when I saw this person last. So I would say 13. Anywhere from 10 to 13 years. I'm going to say more than 10 though. For sure 11. Anywhere from 11 to 13 years or 11 to 15, I'll say, since I've seen this person in person. All of this happened because after 2 weeks of talking on the phone, I decided that my Capricorn was going to start Capricorn and they just started getting on my nerves. And I was like, just stop talking to me. Like, please stop talking to me. So this was not a person that I have seen. We have not gone on no date. We ain't held no hands. We ain't kissed. We ain't played footsies. We ain't did nothing. Okay?
Well, you're his starship.
But I'm laying in my bed. My phone started going off at 1 o'clock in the morning. I sent it to voicemail. I thought that was it. Not only did I get that voicemail, but I also got a voice memo where the nigga was singing, Aaliyah, we need a resolution. That's the one that I sent you. Did you not hear what he said? Am I supposed to change or you supposed to change?
So many Aaliyah references in the voice memo.
So I'm going to clear that up, guys, because if I were to hear that on a show, I'd be like, damn, like, what did you do to the person? Like, you know what I'm saying? To make him do that. But listen, I put this on my son, baby, hand on the Bible. I ain't seen this man in person in over a decade.
I wouldn't feel like that because there are several men who operate and have operated the same way.
Every time I have these conversations or I tell my best friend about stuff like this, she literally be like, what is in your coochie? which is so crazy because, again, further backstory, even a decade ago, we have never been intimate ever in life. I don't know what he looks like naked. He's never seen me naked. We ain't never been like that. We literally went on one date 15 years ago. I got drunk and passed out, and that was the last time we ever engaged with each other in a physical, like in person, like physically, like, but we did not get physical. And it's funny because it happened so crazy that I don't even remember it. And that was one of the things he brought up. He was like, do you remember when we went out on a date a long, long time ago? And I was like, nah. And he was like, this happened and this happened. And I was like, wow, I think I do remember us going out to eat, but I wasn't sure. So it wasn't even a thing. Like, and that's the energy I got. So yeah, now y'all wonder why I be like, I ain't dating and I'm trying to stay out of these streets because I watch too much Snapped, okay? And if you willing to do all that, I don't even want you, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't trying to be funny, you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying, you know what I'm saying? Toot my own horn, but toot motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? If you doing all that and we ain't did nothing, I already know where you gonna be if we do.
No, I mean, that's fair. And
I don't even want to chance it. Listen.
Yeah, no,
Fatal attraction is real.
You definitely have to be mindful of the people that you're dealing with. We talked about that briefly on last week's episode for sure.
Fatal attraction is real. And I didn't even want to bring that back up, but yes, to that point, I've gone down a rabbit hole of Ashley Janae and Joe McCain or whatever his name is. I've gone down such a rabbit hole of videos about this girl. And I want to discuss it a little bit, at least briefly, because it's kind of like it's 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other. Because I feel like in some instances, yes, I believe we should know the truth. And the truth also usually frames the reality of what happened in these situations. But now there's stories coming out saying that she's just an escort. Like, really? She's a stripper. Because I looked at one of her videos on her Instagram page or her YouTube, and she pretty much said to the effect of like, the way she ended up in Miami to get on this socialite scene was that her friend moved to Miami and she went down there to visit her friend. And her friend said, like, if you come down here for a week and if you don't get a job by the end of the week, you go home. Like, she said it was a bet. Well, any logical person, like if I were 18 or 19, I would eat that content up and I would be like, oh yeah, that's true. But as a 38-year-old woman, baby, jobs don't come that easy. Only jobs coming that easy is stripping, bartending, waitressing, and doing things that are fast money related. You're not going to go sit down somewhere where you're making a decent amount of money to afford the lifestyle that she was portrayed, or to at least put her foot in that lifestyle to begin it.
Oops.
To begin it.
I can't get it to stop. Okay, sorry.
To begin it somewhere. And so it's like, now it's starting to make sense because people were saying she was a bottle girl at a club. One girl said she was a dancer. Some people said that they saw her on escort pages and they've been like scrubbed from the internet. Like they said she had separate social media pages and they think her family or people are going in and scrubbing these pages from the internet, but so they don't have to, like, so that doesn't become a part of her legacy. But I think though it's a negative thing to bring up at this time, we need to see that because it puts things in perspective of the type of relationship, because we're all looking at the fact of, well, why would she kill herself when, you know, they got engaged and it was her birthday, and then people like, well, if he was gonna kill her, why would he get engaged to her? Why would he do this? Why would he do that? But putting it into perspective, let's say hypothetically she was really an escort. Okay, now stories are coming out saying that the reason why they got into this altercation was because she found out that he was entertaining other women physically at that same hotel while they were there. They said that he frequents that hotel and he knows local women, and they said she found out that he was really good friends with some of the staff and she felt uncomfortable and all of these things. And so it's like, you want to put it in a perspective because everybody was also bringing up the fact that on his social media, there's no presence of her at all. You still see pictures of him and his ex-wife, but none of him and her. And that would make sense if literally this was a pay for play situation. And like they say, when you're in, a lot of people that are influencers do a lot of things for clicks and views and for a paycheck. And so people are like, this is not the first time. Somebody said that this was not the first time that he had proposed to her. Because they do it for views. So I don't know really what to believe. Like, it's so much, and I'm trying to, like, you know, think about this stuff and still be gracious, because I have several times been the grieving family of somebody that has, you know, transitioned. But at the same time, it's like, we also have to be honest and be realistic about these things. Like, if she was living a certain lifestyle, let's be honest about it, because maybe that's what the altercation was about. Maybe that puts more people in perspective of being the actual murderer. You know what I'm saying? Like, if she was in fact murdered, like we think she was, he might not have been a murderer. It might have been somebody else. How do we know that they did not have an agreement that he was gonna go entertain whatever women he had on the resort, and she was gonna entertain somebody else so she could get some money? And they did something to her. Like, none of it makes sense. But if they're not telling the truth, how do we know how to honestly put it in perspective? And naturally, I'm approaching this as a legal professional, as an attorney. I think of like this. It's, though we assume one thing, we have to think about all viable options. And it's like, if you're not telling us what her lifestyle was really like and what she was doing, you know, how will we know who to look for or what the suspect pool looks like? That's just like when, you know, teenagers come up missing, especially young girls and things like that. The first thing the police ask the parents is like, were they into drugs? And then parents get so offended, like, no, my child wasn't doing drugs. But please, if they were, tell the police, because now they can go look in trap houses. They can go look in drug neighborhoods. They can go look. But if you're telling them, oh, my kid don't do shit, they just go to school every day, they're going to look around y'all's neighborhood. They're going to look around their friends when your kids is going to Brightmoor. You know what I'm saying? Y'all live in Farmington Hills and your kids are going to Brightmoor to pick up fentanyl and shit. You know what I'm saying? But you're not telling them that, so they don't know to go in Brightmoor and look for your child. And so that's why I'm saying that.
I hope nobody ever has to go to Brightmoor.
Well, I mean, I hope that too. But for people that is listening, I don't know if you're from other cities, what to express to you is the equivalent of Brightmoor. But people that are from Atlanta, the Bluff is equivalent to Brightmoor in Detroit. People that live in LA, I would say Skid Row and Fig is a more on steroids version of Brightmoor. So that just puts y'all in a perspective. Those are the hoods I'm familiar with. So I could, you know, that people in Dade County, Brightmoor is like the Poke and Bean projects.
It's kind of barren though too. Like, it's
those areas are barren. Just drugs.
Like, the houses are like far and few,
bandos and everything. Yes. But yeah. So I say all that to say, even with her, like, I've been caught up in that, like, following that story at that current event, because it's like, are you like, I'm just trying to keep up with what's going on, but so many stories are coming out, but so many people are being tight-lipped, including her family. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, her mom, I did see the interview that you were referring to with her parents, and it just, again, it's just an all-around sad situation, because at the end of the day, a life was lost. And that's the only thing that surfaces when I see anything pop up on my timeline about this situation. It's just like, damn, this is a very messed up situation. And there are a lot of views that are controversial to the situation. There are a lot of views that make complete sense if you're assessing it. Like all the things you just said. Yeah, these are things that there are people obviously that are thinking about it, but on a larger scale, I feel like in terms of what you're seeing on social media, for the most part, I haven't heard anybody like truly assess from that angle all of the viable options that could have happened. It is still, the allegations are still in alignment towards him, like at this point. So that is very wild, like that this story is unfolding the way that it does. But it just further goes to show you like the power of social media and how it could be utilized as a tool in a positive and negative light. And with that being said, I'm going to segue into a very interesting video that I came across by Dominique Morgan on Instagram, which I love Dominique Morgan's content. And it's very well thought out, thought provoking, and Dominique makes a lot of valid points when it comes to several different topics that is posted on Dominique's page. So one of the things that came up is one of the people that came up is a lady by the name of Dr. Sarah. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. I think it's Fontre, maybe. Let me see if I can find her page. Well, I made that up, completely made up her last name. Is it Fontenot? Whatever. Dr. Sarah, okay? Now, the doctor is very important because when I heard Dominique's perspective on this, it immediately made me think about a conversation that you and I had some time ago on the pod about honorary doctorates and just about the way that people like to play with academia and use it.
Trick Daddy them got that honorary Bible college degree.
Yeah, and so the talks around honorary degrees had come up to some point within the conversation and within the perspective, but Dr. Sarah has a lot of controversial views regarding relationships and how women should approach relationships and how they should honor and respect their partners, men specifically. Her perspectives are very male-centered, heavily male-centered, which we've talked about on this pod too, right? I would love for you, if you're not familiar with her content, Tash, I would love for you to go and like look at a few of her videos and see what she's saying and share your perspective, because a lot of what I've heard her say are things that people would classify as pick-me shit. Like the perspectives, the things that she shares. And she was on Joe Budden's podcast recently sharing some of her controversial views, and some people agree with it, some people don't. And so Dominique's perspective was, we have to be very mindful of the people that we give platforms to and the weight of what they're saying based off of people throwing titles ahead of their name that may or may not ring true to their education.
Did we not talk about
their
that
formal
before
education and profession?
Did we not talk about that already with Dr. Cheyenne? Because they said she's not a real doctor.
Oh no, I didn't know
that. You know who I'm talking about though, right?
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, like that has come up. Everybody been talking baby on her ass on social media because they're like, she's not a real doctor. Like she goes by that, but she's a life coach. I mean, I think she has some kind of doctorate now, she does, or something, but I don't think she's actually like a licensed clinical doctor like she says she is. Like she goes by Dr. Cheyenne Bryant because she has a doctorate, but she tries to make it, she's like a life coach. Like she's not an actual doctor. And so that is what's funny, because that's, people give her, like you said, a lot of weight because that's how she presents herself with her name. But she doesn't really have the actual credentials, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, her name is Sarah Shorter, actually. Let me look her up. But no, I didn't know that. I didn't know that she was not an actual doctor.
Yeah, like on her website it says she has a master's degree in marriage, family, and child therapy. It doesn't say anything about a doctorate on here. And this is on her website. I don't know if she's updated this or what. But last I checked, people were giving her a lot of heat because she had not obtained a doctorate degree.
So this is the point that Dominique was getting at. When we put these titles in front of people and they are provided a platform, they acquire a platform on social media based off of what they're saying. And I find that a lot of the situations or topics that's being discussed are heavily based in relationship. It is based in relationship or controversial viewpoints of men versus women or women versus men. And when we provide these platforms to these people just oftentimes take what they're saying as face value so strongly that they begin to apply it to their own lives and situations in an unhealthy way.
Oh, absolutely.
And there's to me, that's so scary because it just goes to show there's a lack of critical thinking skills across the board, which we know already, right? But then there's I feel like there's a dismissive undertone of how harmful the shit really is in the long run for people. And what that means for the future. Who else is going to be, who's next? Going to be the next person to get on here under the guise that they are a practicing doctor with formal education and expertise in research to back up what they're saying.
Well, it's never going to happen. It's only going to continue to get worse with the emergence of AI and ChatGPT. People are not, I'm not trying to be funny, and I always hate when people have this elitist view, but I'm going to stick by the one I have when it comes to academia and education, because I see a lot of people nowadays on social media making posts like, I got a 90 on my paper and I didn't even use ChatGPT. And I'm like, we didn't even have a fucking option. You had to get a 90 on your paper on your own merits. You didn't even have an option. So the fact that you have to say, or the fact that you feel like I need to say that I got this and I didn't even have to use that, meaning it's becoming the norm to feel like my good grades are associated with me using an automated generated software. You know what I'm saying? It's so crazy. You're not doing any of the work, so you're not learning any of the lesson. It doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? And it kills me because people keep saying it's going to take over. It's going to take over. It's not going to take over anything. I share on my social media all the time stories of attorneys getting chewed out by judges and other counsel because they have quoted something wrong in a brief because they've used AI and they quoted a case that don't even exist. You don't even know where these AI generated bots are getting their information from. It has to be fed by a human. So if a human is ill-equipped, if somebody is lazy enough to want to create something to do all the work for them, what makes you think somebody else did all the work to feed it the right answers? If that makes sense. You see what I'm saying? Somebody has to do the work on the back end to feed these AI generated machines with the information it needs to produce these answers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A computer just doesn't automatically spit out recipes. Somebody had to go into wherever and say, if somebody types in that they want high protein recipes, this is what the options could be. The way it works, all that stuff has to be inputted some kind of way. It just doesn't come out of thin air.
Yeah. I mean, people they're not fully assessing where the information is coming from. They just know, I got to get the information and I want it quickly. And that's just a testament of the microwave society that we live in. People want shit. They want it now. They want a resolution. They want an answer. And that also aids in how harmful this shit is, because you can just click and get on to the internet and see a video or listen to a podcast of somebody claiming to be a doctor with all of this high level expertise and being a guru, et cetera, of whatever expertise they claim to be in, right? And I could just get an answer for my dilemma that I'm having in my relationship and apply such things, such thoughts, or become these thoughts and develop these patterns based off of what this person is putting on the internet and be good to go, and not even do any formal deep diving on who this person is and what this person has actually acquired in their career that makes them qualified to speak on such subjects. There are a lot of people popping up with these types of things going on, and I just think it's really interesting. So when I saw that video that was made by Dominique Morgan, I was like, dang, this is a valid point being made. Because I feel like there are multiple people who are thinking about it, but nobody, at least I haven't seen anybody post like an actual think piece on it and how this is turning into an issue, how we're seeing it more and more often, and nobody's saying anything. Yeah, we're just letting it fly by. And then I also think that this is another testament to pretty privilege being a thing, because it's not to dismiss what these women do know, but I think that the fact that they are beautiful women and they're able to sit and have an articulate conversation and articulate their ideas, I think that is one of the pieces that silences all the rest of the puzzle.
Oh, absolutely. Because if you have something in society, if somebody has something that you want, you're going to start to latch on to pieces of them. It's kind of like that. I'm not going to say you try to be them, but you're trying to figure out what makes them them, like what gets them there. So you're going to start doing what they do. You see what I'm saying? Like, in order for you to achieve that other thing. And so that's where a lot of that comes from. It's when you see these, that's the whole idea behind the influencer thing. It's, well, if I see you living this kind of way and I want to see you live this kind of way, every product you promote, I'm going to want to buy it because I feel like this gives you that type of lifestyle. Yeah. If I'm a woman that I'm at home and I struggle with self-confidence because of my physical looks, and I see a woman that I view as beautiful and she's saying, well, this is how you make, this amount of money. And because I make this amount of money, I'm able to afford this lifestyle. In my mind, I'm going to want to do what she's doing, because if I have that much money, I can look pretty like her too. Yeah. And that's what society wants. Like, that's what they want. And that's what keeps us trapped, to be completely honest, when you're chasing things that, I'm not going to say you can't obtain, but that are like unrealistic to attain. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't make sense to chase certain things. That's just like something as simple as like getting your hair done. You can see on a magazine or a girl on Instagram, you can see their hair and you take it to your stylist and you like, well, I want to do this wearing my natural hair. And you like, well, she got natural hair like I do. And your stylist is like, girl, no, that is a wig. That's a weave. That's just a good wig. You know what I'm saying? She got K-tips. She don't have hair on the track on the weft that she got from Hollywood Beauty Supply. Like, that's just good hair. That's just a different type of weave. And people will get upset because you can't deliver that style like they wanted, but their hair didn't have the proper foundation. Like, you know what I'm saying? It just didn't. And so that's the thing.
But you got beady beads.
Yeah, and so that's the thing about this life. Like, think about it. People say if you want to get rich quick now,
you got beady beads.
Have a cute life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could get on right now and just, be cute every day and make this ebook about something. You know what I'm saying? Because people are going to want to know how I make my money, because people are so curious to know how I make my money, and they're going to want to know, well, especially somebody like me, think about it, they're going to be like, well, damn, how do you do this? If I were to write a book right now, I guarantee you, if I were to open up my social media accounts and hashtag everything to death and vlog my trips and vlog my day in the life of me sitting around and I were letting people into my personal business about how much my salary is from work, how I get to do what I get to do, what my other income streams are. If I were to post all of that for about 60 or 90 days and then I made an ebook and was like, I'm teaching other lawyers how to obtain a job where you can make top dollar, get good benefits, and still travel.
Yeah.
They'll eat that shit up. They'll buy
For
it
sure.
because I'm actually living that life. But what I can't tell them is that I can do this because of the type of bosses that I have. You know what I'm saying? It's not where I work. It's the people that I work for. You know what I'm saying? And that has nothing to do with what I can sell you in an ebook. But that's the scheme that Todd has set up. That's how all of this works of buy my product, buy this, buy that. When you look at them janky ass tarot readers on YouTube, they'll Capricorn you this, Taurus you that, Sagittarius you this. 10 minutes in, they be like, well, for the extended reading, you got to subscribe. I'm selling you something that you might not even get the benefit from. But because you're seeking something so bad, you're willing to damn near sell your soul and spend your last dollar trying to get it.
Yeah, these are all facts.
So that's where the pretty privilege comes in. That's just like all them fitness influencers, the guys. It's when you see them with pretty girls and all this other stuff. Now, everybody and their mama, you see niggas in the hood trying to run. You know what I'm saying? Because I want a baddie. I want an Instagram gym baddie. So I'm going to go to the gym too now.
You know, which is not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing.
In this case.
Yeah, but
in that case.
It's a bad thing if now you're doing other things to achieve it. It's because once you start going to the gym, if you don't have your mental right, you're going to see these other guys in the gym. They pumping, they doing this. Then your ass around here taking steroids and everything else trying to get like them. Now you're doing the wrong thing. You see what I'm saying? Because it's by any means necessary.
Yeah.
And that's what this society has become. And not in a good way.
Yeah, I mean, and ironically enough, according to some posts that I saw, the lady who was on the Joe Budden podcast did talk about attention being the new currency, a new form of currency, which I think is interesting because she's capitalizing off of it.
Yeah,
she is. And I will say this. I'm going to share something that she said that Dominique had cut into one of the videos. She said that in a sinking boat scenario that she would save her children over her husband. Because
that's that girl I seen.
We can always make more children. She said, we can always make more children. She lives by a hierarchy. But then there's people in the comments saying that she's also pro-life. And so they was like, somebody said, this is very interesting. So listen, it's so many layers to it. I will say that. But the bottom line is, I didn't see, like me, somebody, I didn't know that Dr. Cheyenne Bryan wasn't a real doctor. Because I quite honestly, because I had not given that much thought into her brand. Like, she has said some thought-provoking things that I've seen on the internet, but I don't listen to many people deeply enough to, take their word as Bible. I just don't.
Listen to nobody enough like that.
I just don't, and I never have. And I just think that y'all need to do a little bit more research. I think we all need to do a little bit more research when it comes to these people and hold them accountable for the shit that they be saying on the internet and for the way that they present themselves, whether they have the accolades or not.
Well, listen, let me tell you something. Speaking of presentation, no amount of research in this world would have prepared me for how them ladies be freaking at these Raheem Devine concerts.
Really?
Because I didn't. So
I went to one. They wasn't doing that.
Listen,
but I've never it was been outside at Shane Park.
I've never been. Okay,
at the Aretha Amphitheater.
Yes, so I've never been. This was a Floetry concert, but the thing is, Tidra Moses was one of the opening acts. That's literally the reason why I wanted to go. When the opportunity was presented to me to go to the concert, when it was just told to me that it was Floetry, I was like, nah, I'm straight. When they said, well, Tidra Moses is going to be there, I was like, go ahead and sign me up. Oh, my God. That is so unrelated, y'all. But I was like, sign me up.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I was like, sign me up because I love me some TT. Like, my friends will tell you, I've been listening to Tidra Moses. Like, most people know Tidra Moses from Be Your Girl with Kate Trinata. I've been listening to Tidra Moses since she came out with Complex Simplicity in like 2002.
She's just such a woman to me.
Yes, that's why I've always liked her.
Her essence is just so
and then
rich.
She's real. She's like a real woman. But I love people from New Orleans, so that's a whole nother subject for a whole nother day. And that's where she's from.
That makes sense.
But so I say all that to say, Raheem was the act in between Tidra and Floetry, and I'm gonna say this as a person that's a self-proclaimed pervert. I really get cringed by a lot of things, and that Raheem Devine concert was cringe as fuck. Like, he had, first of all, it was extra. Y'all know I tell y'all on here all the time, I'm not about to say I won't no street ass nigga like Finesse 2 times or nothing like that. I don't want nobody slow, but I don't like that soft.
Slow? You think he's slow?
I definitely think he was in the classroom with carpet. Definitely think there's a lot wrong with him. But I don't like that, and which is weird because I don't like niggas that's like overly going. Like, I don't like niggas that's like overly try to please bitches, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, please, if you're my man, overly please me. But when I say overly please bitches, it puts me in the mind of people like male strippers. Like, I think male strippers are extremely cringe. Like, I never ever want to see that. Like, please don't take me nowhere like that. I've seen it enough times. I don't even like to watch the scenes on All the Queens of Men, to be completely honest, because I think it's gay as hell.
Really?
Yes, I hate male strippers. And Raheem Devine's concert to me was that, except he was in his clothes. Like, he had roses all wrapped around the mic stand. Like, that shit was so extra. Then he was taking them off and like kissing them and giving them to women. Then he did that freaky shit that he did with the wash rag a few summers ago that he went viral over. So it was weird. So before he came out, once they started decorating the stage with all them roses, I looked over and was like, so do you remember when this went viral? And they was like, no, I don't remember when it went viral. I was like, yes, I think this is when he does that freaky thing with the towel. And they was like, no, I don't even know what you're talking about. So I pulled up a clip and they was like, oh, I do remember that being a thing, but I don't know if he's going to do that here. Like, why would he do that here? Sure enough, he takes this wet rag.
Why would he do that here? Why wouldn't he?
He's wringing it and like letting the water fall down like in front of him. And then he like gave it to this girl and was like, put this around your neck. And it was just, and the women were just, the way these women were fawning over this, I was utterly disgusted. Like, as a woman, I just wanted to walk out. And I am into some strange things, okay? That was
Stranger Things.
That was just not okay. Like, I was so weirded out.
Women love him though, but I don't.
I was so weirded out.
I went to his show last summer at the Aretha Amphitheater, aka Shane Park. I went there and I thought it was a great show. I did not, again, like some stuff I kind of like etch out of the experience for me. If it's something I don't like, I kind of forget about it. But I wouldn't say that it was overly freaked out. I wouldn't say it was that kind of show. Yeah, so maybe he probably like did weird. A little bit more.
But the women thing is just, it's gross. And I don't know why I think that's so gross, but I just feel like he was overly freaked out. And that's, like I said, it's weird because
what songs do you have?
I'm okay with certain things, but that was just too much. Like, I felt like I don't know. Like, I felt like I should have just walked out. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, just call me back when the ladies from London come on. Because that was just too much.
The ladies from London. Well, how did they do?
They did absolutely great. Like, that was a good show. Now, I will say that
I don't care for
Natalie's energy is a little bit too much for me. Like, she was hopping around like Hip Hop Harry. And then, you know, she still dresses kind of weird to me. So she had on like some big ass harem pants. Like, if y'all don't know what harem pants are, they're like hammer pants.
I love harem pants.
So she had on some harem pants and like some high top sneakers. Like, you know,
Yeah,
she looked real Afro beat, like, you know, real Afro ish. You know, I don't know how to. I don't want to say this and sound offensive, but like to my Atlanta people,
but I will.
To my Atlanta people, she looked like she walk around West End. Like if you know, you know. Like Atlanta people, she look like she hang out at the West End. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful when I say that, because I used to hang out at West End. You know what I'm saying? I too thought I was a young African at one point in time. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. But she definitely looked like she eat at the Soul Veg. I eat at the Soul Veg too, so no disrespect. She definitely looked like she was standing in line for some Tassilis too. That's how she was dressed. And I didn't like that, because the outfit coupled with the dancing around all wild and shit, it just made me feel uncomfortable.
Maybe she was providing an experience that only she knew how. And so,
I mean, I think that's just truly
part
her,
of her,
you know?
yeah, part of her performance.
And it's weird because I never ever really paid her any attention until that concert. Like, I had to Google during the concert, like, what was her name? And I've just committed to memory that it was Natalie in this last week. I never knew that. I just used to call her the florist, just because if it wasn't Marsha, it just wasn't anybody for me, because, you know what I'm saying? And then I will say that,
that
too.
was her name, wasn't it, in the Florists?
Yeah, that was her name in the group, the Florists, but her real name is Natalie.
Okay, yeah, because she did have some songs after the group that I enjoyed. So I did know that her name was Natalie, but
yeah,
you know,
and then she was like overly ad-libbing on some songs, like some songs that Marsha was doing. Give
us an example.
I never even went back and watched the videos, but I couldn't think about what song it was.
You know the song.
You know what? I think it was Miss Stress, when Marsha's doing her like bridge and she's like doing her riff, and she was just like all loud and ad-libbing over her. I'm like, can we hear Marsha? Like, ma'am, just stop.
It's competing for the microphone.
It was just, it was, but I could tell I was making a joke.
It was a Marlon and Jackson 5 moment. Wasn't that Marlon when he was doing a body roll?
That wasn't Jackson 5. That was Marlon and Keith Sweat.
No, that was Marlon, Michael Jackson.
Oh, you talking about the real Marlon from Jackson 5. I thought you were talking about, because when you say that, I'm thinking about like sitcoms, because that happened, remember, with Martin and Jodeci. And then remember when Marlon on the Wayans Brothers was supposed to be in that play with Thea and Keith Sweat was supposed to be singing at the end, and he tried to take over the show and start like, girl, yes, it was like one of the funniest episodes.
Marlon is so fun.
But I gave it, what I said was, and I know it was messy for me to say this, but what I was saying was I felt like she was just giving extra energy, because they said they haven't performed together in 20 years. So I believe that this is like her first performance in such a long time. You got to think about it. Marsha had such a big solo career. She would sing some of these Floetry songs at her shows. You know what I'm saying? Like as a part of her sets and with her own songs. And she had wrote for Michael Jackson and other people, because they did perform Butterflies. But they, you know, she wrote and did so many things for other artists after Floetry kind of fizzled out a little bit. So you can tell, I think, being on stage was just like, okay, I'm just back at it, where Natalie was kind of like hyped, because it's like, damn, I haven't been here, you know, in a while. Yeah. Like it was, and I'm not trying to say it was like messy on her end. I think it was out of sheer gratitude, to be completely honest. Like, you know, because they did have a moment where they held each other and cried, and she was like, you know, you were there for the birth of my daughter, but I wasn't there for your wedding. Like they exchanged like, you know, some sister girl moments about time that had lapsed. On stage? Yes. Like that's literally so on nice. Stage on the mat. Yeah. So that's why I say I feel like a lot of her moving like that and acting like that, even though I was highly aggravated, but I get aggravated by anything. It was out of gratitude. I think Clearly. It was, I think it was more of I'm just happy to be here type of person.
Yeah. No, I mean, that sounds like a great show overall. And I live for the moments where people get a chance to express gratitude publicly in front of their audience. Those are like moments that you don't really get to see. It's like a behind the scenes thing happening right in front of you. So yeah. I don't mind that. Now, I'm not a big Marsha Ambrosius fan. I won't lie to you. But you know, I won't yuck anybody's yum. I think she's an incredible writer and, you know, artist in general.
I
But
love her. I mean, I love her, to be completely honest.
not me. But that's not surprising because you know who else you like? Mary J. Blige.
Oh, y'all stop it. Come on, man.
And
Come on, man.
yeah.
Stop
I'm
it.
not a fan. I don't care.
Listen.
But she...
When my mama bought me that first pair of combat boots in 1993, maybe it was 92. I can't remember. But baby, my mama bought me some combat boots and a baseball jersey because I was in her room every day practicing the Real Love video.
And I love that for you. And I cannot dispute the fact that Mary J. Blige has quite a few hits. She got some bangers, don't get me wrong. But you want to know something that I thought was interesting this past week is that she had done a video. She did an interview where she spoke about her experience around the Burger King commercial. And the fact that people thought that shit was funny. And by people, I mean me included. And my family, we all laughed about it. We laughed about it for years.
I still sing it.
Was like, that wasn't funny. Now, I don't know what about her expressing that it wasn't funny made it funnier for me and for other people. But now people are on the internet like making their own videos and like reliving this moment of the commercial. And I think it's bold, low key. I ain't gonna lie. I think that part is bold. Now I'm not saying that I was right for like laughing at it, but I thought that it was meant to be like a satire when it was created. Like I thought it was made, like the commercial was made to be funny.
No, it wasn't.
But it was not. And that's like she expressed that, and I was just like, this whole time, I think that was the undertone that made it funnier. It's like I thought that this, and many people thought that commercial was supposed to be funny for sure, and she did not appreciate that shit.
No, because she was down bad. She did that commercial because she had to, not because that was some like, oh, this is what I'm opting to do. Like,
but can we talk about how she also sat and sang to Hillary Clinton about black people getting pulled over by the police and living in America? And she grabbed her hand during the singing, like while she was singing. You know how you grab somebody's hand because you're like really into it and you want them to feel what you're feeling. You want to really connect with them. That's what she did during that time frame. And I honestly feel like we should be talking about that moment more. And it's like nobody remembers that it happened, including myself.
I don't remember
until one of my sorors posted it. It was like, so was this not diabolical?
I never.
And I
don't
said,
even
oh my
remember
God,
if
I
I've
forgot
ever
that.
seen it to begin with, let alone remember it.
Well, don't you worry. I'll make sure that you get a hold of the footage because my mouth dropped when I recalled that happening as I was watching it. Like, dang, that did happen. And we just swept it under the rug. Well, in other news, speaking of things to remember, are we still mad at Chili?
Absolutely.
So, like, what actually happened? Because
the way I gather it, she just said she donated to like 2 or 3 different causes, and she didn't know that those were being backed by the Republican Party. That was her explanation for it. I don't even know how people found this out. Like, I don't even know how it began. I just know
people be PIs.
I just know people was making,
even if they not,
memes about it, and T-Boz came out and tried to like defend her, and people was like, T-Boz, you might want to sit this one out. So
because we about to get on your ass next.
And it's crazy because I
love T-Boz though.
Me and a friend were talking about the other day wanting to go to the Minnesota State Fair because we both said we never been to Minnesota, and everybody said that the state fair is really fun. And then people was like, oh, guess what? TLC gonna be headlining, and I was like, well, we don't have to go that day. we can go another day because I don't really want to see them now.
We can go a different day. No, so okay, that makes sense because I saw a lot of people making comments about her, and I also saw that their tour had been canceled because of it. I guess because people were demanding their money back for
Hold on, did
ticket
they cancel
sales.
it? For real?
I thought it was
Because they're supposed to be
canceled.
on tour with other people. That's why I didn't think so. It's supposed to be Salt and
Yeah,
Pepper,
that's why.
them.
Yeah, I thought it's more of them that's supposed to be on the
Yeah.
tour. So I don't know. I saw that. I don't know how true it is because I was like, "Dang, y'all gonna cancel the tour? Like you ruining the bag for everybody is crazy. One person, crazy. People
And it's
was
not
really
even
mad.
like she did nothing since they announced the tour. Like this was all done a few years ago, and it was nobody cared because they wasn't going on tour. And I think when they decided to go back on tour, they got thrust in the spotlight.
Oh, they dug it up, and then people. Okay, I did see that people were also sharing screenshots of her post that she liked and
Oh,
people
yeah.
that she follows on Instagram to essentially corroborate a narrative that she is a MAGA supporter, essentially. And I just thought, my favorite word, interesting, because should be interesting. And again, it is another testament of how powerful the internet is as an investigative tool.
See, Google is saying it's canceled, but other people are saying that it's not. Like they never came out and made an official statement and saying nobody connected to the tour has said it's canceled. So I don't know what's happening with that.
Well, nonetheless, I wish them the best because TLC is a classic group, right? I can't take that away from them, and I love me some TLC. I hate that it happened. This happened the way that it did.
Somebody said, I know Left Eye rolling over in her grave."
Listen, because we know how our good sis left eye got
Oh
down.
my
Should not play
god,
that
that
shit.
is so funny.
But yeah. Speaking of Chili, Usher and Chris Brown are going on tour. They have already released the tour dates and the tickets. Okay. Of course, we're going to segue into Usher. Even though, Chili and Usher have not been a thing for many years.
And that's crazy. I ain't even make the connection. I just knew that was on the call. I didn't even think about.
I ain't gonna lie. They one of in history, they're one of my favorite celebrity couples. I'm not the only one. A lot of people.
They were so mismatched as a couple. I don't even consider them being a couple.
Really?
Ain't she with Joey Lawrence now or something?
Which is very interesting.
So that's who she is with. I be getting my white people mixed up.
I don't know his name, but he is.
Oh, it is Joey Lawrence. I was right.
So who is he? What does he do?
He used to be in. I don't know. I forgot what he used to do. He used to be on Blossom. Yeah, he used to be on the show Blossom. I do remember him from that. He was Joey Russo. But he was in some other stuff too.
Oh no, she's dating Matthew Lawrence.
Oh, I thought she was dating Joey.
No, she's dating Matthew, which is his brother, right?
So okay, well I was close.
Well, I was close enough.
Somebody in the bloodline.
Yeah, that is very interesting. I thought that they were a hot couple, her and Usher, and they're still to this day one of my favorite celebrity couples.
You know who Matthew Lawrence is?
No, I don't know who any of them are.
When I tell you, you're gonna laugh. He's the son on Miss Doubtfire. Remember the son that they had?
Stop it! I'm looking at his pictures.
Remember that was him. That was the son on Miss Doubtfire. Mm-hmm. Yep.
That is wild. I never knew. And I'm like, oh my God, that is him.
Yep. And he was on Boy Meets World.
No fucking way. I love Mrs. Doubtfire. Mrs. Doubtfire is one of my top 5 favorite movies ever made. And if you haven't seen it, what are you doing? You got to go watch Mrs. Doubtfire today. But all that to say, rewind. Usher and Chris Brown are going on tour. And I'm going to let you know something. This better be one of the greatest shows on the fucking planet this summer. Because the tickets were expensive. I will say that. They were expensive for the seats that I got.
I heard the suites was $30,000 up to in Atlanta.
I can
and
believe
it
it.
only held, like, I think Felicia said 19 people or something like that, or a little
I
bit more.
can absolutely believe it because the tickets that we got, a very expensive show, and just getting through the queue. Like, they ended up adding another show for Detroit. There's another show being added for Sunday because the demand for these tickets were so high. And I'm assuming that they sold out very quickly.
My cousin is coming up here from Atlanta. She texted me today. I was like, girl, I'm going to be in Tokyo. She was like, oh, okay. But yeah, she bought her ticket for up here. She said because she couldn't get one in Atlanta.
Yeah, I can believe it. Like, the tickets sold out quick. Like, so much so that as I'm checking out, and I'm not mind you, God willing, this is going to be a beautiful concert season this spring and summer. But I am not a person that goes to every single concert, you know? Like, I got to know that my money is going to be well spent. I know I feel that this is going to be a great show because both entertainers are pretty great, right? I went to the Breezy Bowl, amazing show. So I'm like, okay, cool. I spent my money to see Chris Brown. I've never seen Usher live. That was another buying factor for me. But as I'm checking out, like, people are buying the tickets that I'm selecting. Like,
it's not people, it's bots.
Well, that makes sense because I'm selecting.
Because my ex from law school, he actually is a ticket. He sells tickets. He taught me how to sell tickets. That's why I was selling them at one point in time. But him and his business partner actually pay for bots to go on. Like, he got a slew of credit cards, and all of them are linked to all of these different Ticketmaster accounts, and they have bots that just automatically log in. No. No, it's not. And that's the crazy part. But that's why Ticketmaster started doing all them fees and stuff. They do have ticket limits, but they have ticket limits per account. So
yeah,
if you got a new email address and you use a different credit card, they can't block you. So that's why he got different cards and he buy up all the inventory. Like, they used to buy hundreds of tickets for shows. Like, I used to have to help him list inventory. That's how I started learning how to sell tickets on my own, because I used to help him. And it's a lot, but that's all it is people go in and they literally just buy bots to go buy up all the tickets to
how much
sell.
Is a bot?
Shit, I don't know.
Call him.
Girl, bye.
Call him right now.
I'll never speak to that nigga again in my life. If I seen him walking down the street, we'll probably get into a physical altercation.
You know, there's a couple men like that in my life that I absolutely would put hands on. One of them, I ain't gonna bring that up. I'm having a good day.
I'm having a good day.
Because every time I think about him, I'm just like, you know what? You make me feel away. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the show. There's a couple other concerts lined up for this spring and summer season I'm excited about. Bruno Mars is one of them.
Oh, did you decide if you trying to go to Buju or not?
I do want to go see Buju, actually. So Buju's going to be another one. Where are they coming to?
They coming here at some point in time, but I'm not gonna be here.
I know they coming here, but like,
I'm
where?
going to Atlanta. I don't know what they gonna be.
Oh, you said I want to go to Atlanta to see him. I forgot about that. Yeah, let's talk more about that. I don't know. Well, you got anything for the people, Tash?
No, I don't have nothing. But please don't call people singing on their voicemail. It's 2026, and nobody want to hear that shit. I'm just gonna tell y'all that. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm just gonna bookmark. I'm just gonna bookmark this. I'm gonna bookend this thing. I'm gonna start it off with the shit, and I'm gonna end it with the shit. Okay, please don't call my phone with that.
I'm gonna call my ex and rapper's delight on his voicemail.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like that. Listen, I'm just confused. I'm still trying to figure out how I became the recipient of this type of energy.
I am still shocked that Matthew Lawrence is the son from Mrs. Doubtfire. I can't believe it. Now all I can see is a grown version of him on top of the table dancing with when Miranda came home.
Oh yeah. When they had their little party.
That's, I ain't gonna lie. Like, she was valid in some of the shit. Like, I would have been mad as fuck if I came home and that happened. She did have them fucked up though at the same time. But follow us on everything: Instagram, YouTube, all that jazz. Comment, like, subscribe, share with a friend, share with your aunties, uncles, cousins, brothers, sister, mama, daddy, everybody. Your ex. Send them a voicemail, and when you send that voicemail or that voice memo, make sure that you include our hashtag in it and say, by the way, follow this podcast I listen to at the Soulful Stir, and that's on everything. Okay, I think that's it.
That's it.
Tash, I wish I could see Tash look at me. Without further ado,
I'm looking at you because I'm listening to you, but I'm over here being reckless. So
yeah, I can imagine. I can only imagine. Well, this has been another episode of the Soulful Stir.